Welcome back and Happy New Year. Hope everyone enjoyed their holiday season. I wanted to touch back on a couple things that I mentioned before holiday break. And first is the Urbanfun YBF-ISS014. So I posted a quick video. I really like it. It sounds pretty awesome. And people on HeadFi, we kind of found each other on a thread. And we all were kind of blown away by how much bass there is, and love it, love it, love it. And then Slater popped in and said, yeah, I just got it, and my MMCX connector is pretty janky. I kind of mashed the cable trying to get it in. And so I'll admit that it's a loose connection for me, and I just don't want to smash a cable just to get it to fit tight. So I've kind of kept them pretty loose. They'll fall off if not when I'm wearing it, but if I try to wrap the cable up or something, it'll kind of pop off. So I sort of understood. Mine weren't nearly as bad as his, but that was that. So people started messaging Urbanfun on AliExpress and said, hey, are you guys going to fix the MMCX connectors? And they said, sure. Batch 2, they're all fixed. And then the ad for batch 2 kind of comes out in Chinese, and someone does a translation, and it doesn't say beryllium driver. And feathers get ruffled, and people start emailing and messaging. And then they say, well, it's not going to be beryllium, it's going to be metallic. And then another guy said it's going to be beryllium. And then just this morning, they said it's not going to be beryllium, and the connectors are fixed. So if you guys were thinking about it, pre-ordered it, I would cancel those, put those on hold until this whole thing sorts itself out. But if it's not going to be a beryllium driver and it's going to sound different, then I would wait until people get their hands on batch 2 to figure out what's really going on there, because there's definitely going to be a batch variation, and no one's really sure what it's going to look like right now. But this is the kit that the original shipped in. Cable tips. These are actually some memory foam tips. This I think is actually an old Urbanfun kit, but we get 3 pairs of tips, so that's that. So another thing that I kind of mentioned a while back was the FIIL T1Xs. People are still talking about these on HeadFi, still love them. Over break or just before break, the Android app that controls the EQ actually came out and works fine on mine. So that was kind of a huge bonus that no one really realized that was going to happen when they bought it. So people still talking about it, still in the news, people still buying it, especially for those guys who aren't spending $100 plus on the Liberty Pro 2s or the MWs. These are sort of what people are talking about in that under $50, $40 range. And these are the T1Xs, not the T1s, which I'm not sure the app supports those yet. So make sure you look for the T1. The T1s are the older ones. The T1Xs are the newer version. So that is that. So next, so there's a username, Sergey Marchenko, super helpful guy who always has great things to say. And he also talks about other IEMs that he has that are, better than this, different than this. You should read his comments because I'll give you some ideas on other things to buy. So he had mentioned these unbranded D6 IEMs from, I think, the Global Highlight store on AliExpress. And I had actually had a different pair in my cart from Black Friday that people have been talking about in HeadFi. I think those were the A2s. And I kind of got gun shy on those and didn't buy them. And then he mentioned the D6s were better. And I said, okay, well, I'll try the D6s. So I got them in, and not all the treble, but some of the high metallic instruments, chimes and bells and kind of the tambourine sounds that should sound natural, sound like kind of metal clanging on metal. If you thought the KZ's ESN was kind of steely, this is like really, really tinny and steely. So I had actually messaged them and said, I think there's something wrong with these guys. Either has there been a complaint about one of the balance armatures not working right, or did you guys change it? Something happened, because I don't think anyone's going to recommend these the way they sound, especially at the normal volume levels. It becomes a little painful to listen to because it just sounds off. So they said, do you want to return them? And I said, sure. And then they said, do you want to try a different pair, the A3s? And I said, okay, we'll do that too. So I may return these. I may get some A3s in the mail. I'm not sure what's actually going to transpire, but I'll keep you updated. And Sergey, if you're out there, I tried. I'm almost positive that there's something wrong with these because you probably wouldn't like these. So that is how that all transpired. This is the Earstudio ES100MK2. You guys told me to buy this a long time ago, and I said, I'll just wait until Black Friday, until the price drops. And on Black Friday it did. It went down to about $75, and I had a gift certificate. So I picked it up, and the Mark II is basically the same thing as the first version, but I think they fixed some of the button issues. Maybe the color was different, and you get a box that says Mark II. So got that. That's what I've been using lately. But so at the same time, I also had the V30 Plus, LG V30 Plus with the quad DAC, and I've been using that for a long time, and I love it. And after getting the ES100, I kind of said that was a great idea to keep this as long as possible because it sounds really good. And this offers, you know, features that this will never have, and it's upgradable and all that junk. But you know, if you have a V30 and you're ever really concerned, like I was, that maybe it doesn't sound as good as it really does, it actually does. It is super good. If you go back and read all the comments on HeadFi about when this thing came out and people talked about how good the DAC was, it is really that good. So don't be, you know, that itchy to go buy something new. And obviously I bought something new, but I waited, you know, the better part of a year for the price to drop just to do that. So, and at the same time, I had been looking at V40s and other different LGs that had the same DAC, because I wanted to waste money on something that was functionally not really any different. But so I had been poking around. So eBay, right after Christmas, eBay sends an email, hey, are you interested in this? Because it's related to something that you bought before. And that ends up being the LG G8. This is the G8X. This is the what's called the dual screen version. So this thing is a crazy big, you know, LG G8 with kind of two functional screens. And I had never really paid attention to it. And if you realize that my V30 was kind of the cracked screen burn-in Frankenstein version. So this is the bad ESN version. So I can't activate this on any carrier in the United States, but I don't really care because I just play music on it. But man, it is pretty crazy what this thing can actually do. And you get both rotations, dual screens. Maybe it'll rotate back, maybe it will not, but yeah. Maybe not as cool as I thought, but yeah, still cool. So this, I believe, has the same quad DAC. If you pull down, same quad DAC, so same USB Audio Player Pro. But I got it for kind of dirt cheap because it is the bad ESN version and no one can activate it. And right after Christmas, and I think there's still a few on there on eBay. I mean, I don't really suggest buying it unless you really know what you're doing, but bad ESN means someone bought it and it's literally only like a month or two old. So someone bought it, made one payment on it possibly, and then decided they were not going to put any more payments on it and sold it to someone. So now there's a bunch of them on eBay that all say bad ESN because there's money owed. So that is what this guy is. So that is, and I've been using the ES100 and with this on LDAC on high-speed Bluetooth connection. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as the V30 DAC-wise, but super nice phone that actually I can actually listen to music and take notes kind of at the same time on two different screens. And yes, it is a waste of money, I know that, but I gave in to temptation, and that was my Christmas present to myself. So there you go. So again, thank you for tuning in, and welcome back in the new year, and we'll hope to continue doing this for another year. So thanks again, and see you next time.